trip. Welcome back to another I'm an idiot and I wrecked my car rebuild video. If you didn't watch the last video, put a link up here. That way you can get kind of caught up. Of course, in this episode I'm just gonna continue on where I left off and maybe do a little bit of welding. Okay, what did I do off camera? Off camera I pretty much straighten this up as much as possible and straighten this piece as much as possible. I got it bolted in here. Instead of welding it, there's a hole that I can just bolt them together, so I just went and did that. Seems pretty sturdy enough. And I did weld it here to the frame. It's not pretty, but it's pretty solid. It holds. I painted it back up. I shaved this down, that way I can do my spot welds here to hold that together. Let's see, pretty much the same thing on this side. Ground my paint down so I can spot weld this new piece to the old piece. Got that bolted on. So the next thing I can do is go ahead and weld this to here. Luckily I can see where the old one was pretty easily on this side. That side's a little bit harder to tell where it exactly was. So that's something we play on kind of a guessing game. I guess I can always measure this side and copy on that side. Okay, I got my upper radiator support back on. I got that stuff welded up. One issue I'm running into is this distance between here and here. It is a little tight for my intake, which it was already tight to begin with before the accident. Now it's even tighter. Might be a contribution of two things. One is this could be just bent out of whack, which I think is part of it. But the other bigger issue is I think this is pushed up a little bit. Even the factory one has a slight angle up. But I think this is just pushed up a little more, which means I might have to take the radiator back out and take the sledge. This, try to push it back down, flatten it out to get a little bit more distance here so my intake will go in. Which I do have another one of these on the way. But other than that, it's not looking too bad. Stand back here, camera toes crashed, wrecked. Granted, I don't have any body panels on it. Okay, I got those hammered down and definitely helped a little bit. This gap is a little larger than it was, but it's still a tight fit for that. So I'm gonna have to wait to get a new one of those. Like I said, I think this is tweaked a little bit, so it's sitting in the wrong spot now. But now since I have the front end together and it's one piece now, I think I'm gonna put it together, like put the wheels back on, do a little bit of wiring, and kind of do a road test. See if she drives, see how she feels. You know, probably something I should have done at the beginning, but you know I'm kind of doing things out of order, playing out the smart way. But That's the way I decided to do it. So let's put it together, put the wheels back on, and go for a ride. Okay, the car runs and backs up okay, but I don't have a whole lot of faith in it, considering standing here, that wheel looks a little off. Might pull a little bit. So after my test drive, I'm definitely gonna have to start looking closer at that suspension. Maybe pull that control arm off, buy another one, and compare them. Something like that. But let's go for a drive anyway, just because we can. See what it feels like. Okay, back from my test drive with a not so surprising outcome. It pulls pretty hard to the right, which, you know, go figure. Also, the steering, not only was it pulling hard to the right, like it felt very light. Like the steering was very light for some reason, so that was kind of odd. But next thing we're gonna get to do is jack it back up and start tearing into that side of the suspension. Start taking things apart, inspecting things a little bit more closely, and see what we need to replace. Also, how do you like my super Kpower super ammo intake? Yeah, it works now. Okay, I got the wheel off. You can see back in here. Like I said before, nothing's like obviously bent here. This could be bent out of whack. So it's what I'm hoping that's messed up. Hoping it's just that. Like this seems, my tie rod seems pretty straight. Unless it's bent in there where I can't see it. So, yeah. Probably gonna just take this off, buy a new one, and compare the two side by side, see if they line up with each other. Hey, it's another day, another delivery. Today, I got my new intake. Special thanks for Kpower for sending this out. Now I don't have to use that smashed bent bracket one. Also sent me a new filter. So hopefully this one fits in there a lot better than the old one did. That one fits so much better, a lot better than the slightly bent one, which is still kind of usable. I might be able to use it as backup or something. Also, thanks to Kpower for checking up on me. Make sure I'm doing okay, still alive, kicking. But what should we do next? So I ordered another low control arm, but it's gonna be like a week before I get to. So this means I gotta do something. So I figured I'd bring out my blocks and my alignment plates. And I'm gonna do a alignment on it. Adjust this wheel to where it's straight again. Even though I know something's messed up on it. But I got nothing better to do. I'll make that true again, alignment wise, then drive it again, see how it feels.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I got my alignment reset, kind of even. I even fixed the camber a little bit, so that way both sides match. I have them set like 2.2 right now. So I guess I'll set the car back down and drive it again, see if she feels any different. Okay, I'm back from my test drive, driving around the neighborhood and stuff, and adjusting it made a world of difference. It feels so much better now. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. My steering wheel placement is off, but it's because I only adjusted one side, so now it's kind of off, but it is driving straight. It's not like pulling me to the right every chance it gets. I mean, I think there's still a little bit of pull in it, but it's not as bad. I can live with it. But like I said before, this is a track car. It's been wrecked before, not something I'm trying to build back up and resell to some poor chap. Doesn't change the fact that this is probably twisted a little bit. Right now I'm kind of trying to get quotes on that portion. I'm just trying to do what I can do myself before I like take it to a body shop or anything. But I did get a little carried away. I think I took it out for a little bit too long because I guess I was enjoying it. I didn't completely bolt the system when I put coolant in it. I just made sure I had coolant in it, and I bolted it a few times. I just didn't finish the job. So it did start overheating when I was out driving it. So I had to come back and park.
3 days later.
It's like Christmas here. Quite a few packages just showed up today. I already partly opened this one. What is that? New little control arm. So I need to finish taking that one off and see if it's even messed up, compare it to that one. And I'll probably go with that one anyway. And let's see what's in that box. Dr. Heatles. Is there a heater? Got a heater right now? I got a passenger headlight. Looks pretty nice. A lot nicer than the one I used to have. Now, let's see what's in that box. Something tells me it's not really a TV. Box looks a little funny. I got a passenger Fender, and it's the same color. That's very convenient. I don't have to paint that. It all match. My fenders will match. Pretty sure that one's still straight. I'll find out when I put it back on. Get the car back together. A special big thank you to grp.e on Instagram for sending these out to me. You're very thankful. And I'll probably walk the TTC just for a little bit. In your honor. He also has a K Swapped FRS, and so does the Ryan, the guy who sent me the radiator. He has one as well. So far the K FRS BOZ community has been pretty awesome. And I think I have another part on the way from the other member of that community. So bunch of awesome guys over there. There's the next day. I got another box. So many boxes. But this one, I was expecting a lot bigger box. That's my bumper, my front bumper. Looks awfully small for a bumper. And then it's all folded up. Now I gotta heat it up. Pretty sure they didn't say that on the ad. Dude, look at that fitment. So supposedly you're supposed to heat this up with a heat gun and let it work itself out and kind of mold it yourself. It's kind of starting to look like a bumper. So what I'm doing is I started on the lower part of the lip. Then once I got it somewhat flat and straight, I screwed it down to this piece of wood to keep its shape. Then I just kind of slowly started working my way up and kind of pushing and molding it the way I want it. I still need to work on up here a little bit, but I'll probably mount it to the car, probably a little bit easier to get the angle right. But for now, at least it's mostly straight, what it's supposed to be. Just probably need to work on that corner too. And now that I have all these pieces, I can start putting it back together. This is my old bash bar that I took off of it. I'm going to put it back on temporarily, but I do plan on buying another bash bar kind of like what I had, since it did a good job. Might as well get another one, but this will be fine for now. And I keep on saying it, I'm going to replace that low control arm. I haven't yet, so I'm going to might as well do that too. So let's put all the stuff back on. Okay, I got my lower control arm out. This is the one I took out. Kind of compared the two side by side, and it looks fine. Like it's not bent or anything like that. So it's good, it's plush. But this lower ball joint is kind of tweaked, messed up. It came out of the knuckle fairly easy. A lot easier than what they normally do. So that's a bad sign. It's not straight. And this one is pretty messed up too. So that's a pretty much shot, boot shot. So I'm definitely gonna need a new lower ball joint. But the second thing about that is this is a white line roll center correction ball joint. It's a little bit different than the factory one. It comes in a kit and you can't buy it separate that I can find. Which means I have to buy the whole kit. It comes with the tie rod ends on both sides and lower ball joints on both sides. It's like a $200 kit. So I'm gonna buy one of those. That way my geometry isn't off. But until then, I'll probably just go buy a cheap one from an auto parts store just to get it up and running again. Then replace that when I order it. Okay, good news. I found my old ball joint that I originally took out of there when I replaced these. I don't know why I still had that shit, but it was in a box. Yes, the boot's a little messed up and all that, but the studs are good and it's good. So I will temporarily use this. That way I don't have to buy a new one just to buy a new one of those and replace it. So I'll save a few bucks by putting the old one back in so I can temporarily get this thing around. Okay, lower control arm is back on. It's kind of a pain in the ass because since that frame rail was tweaked a little bit, it made it really hard to line up and get it in there. I took a lot of persuasion, but it's back in there temporarily. It sucks, got to do it all over again. So I think next on the agenda, probably put bash bar on and start working on like fenders, headlight, stuff like that. Start making it look like a car again. Okay, I got both fenders on. This one looks pretty good lining up. This one's on, but I'm having a little bit issue in this area where it meets to this bracket, which is the bracket I tried to bend and stuff. I guess I didn't do a good enough job, which is definitely pushing out too far that way, so I need to figure that out or bend it some more. It's also making it to where the headlight's having an issue going. This should be bolting in the heel. Beat it around a little bit, still not much better. Probably gonna end up having to drill it out, drill the spot welds out, and essentially put it where I need it. Then we weld it on there. We'll probably end up having to do. But before I do that, I guess I can test fit the bumper, see how it fits. Oh, the bumper was partly on. I went ahead and put that light on so I can see what it looks like. And well, I don't have the corners hooked up or anything. I'm gonna probably get more of these things, little bumper releases, put on the ends. That way I can, bumper will be quick release again, like it was before. I'm definitely gonna have to do something down there in the grill area. It's way too wide open. And clean that up. And still need a light. Also, that's a lot of little things I still need, like little plastic pieces. There's like a big trim piece that goes along here I need. It's like little things like that I'm still needing, but at least a lot of the big things are there and on. I need to figure out my fog lights. Hey, it's starting to look like a car again. I got the bumper temporarily on. Doesn't look half bad for now. Right now it's just zip tied and I don't know, pretty much. And for the most part, everything's lining up nicely. It's not all crooked and disformed or anything. I am going to be waiting for a bunch of little parts. As farther I go, the more I realize there's a little like plastic pieces, and there's a piece that connects the fender to the bumper to the car, like little brackets like that I'm going to need. Of course the hood, still on the lookout for that, and a headlight. So while I wait for those little things, well, not really little things, I'm going to take a break on it and focus on something else. Start focusing on the new race car, the new backup race car. So watch my last video about that. So I think I'm gonna go do a clutch job on it. Fun stuff. But thanks for watching my rebuild video. There will be more after this. But until then, don't do anything I would do, and peace out.